Time for a farm update today. I'm going to run around. I don't have many questions to answer today, but I want to show you exactly what is going on and show you what's happening with the chickens. So I'll start here. You've seen these chickens there in the green coop. This is one of our grower coops. I've got, I think, 24 chickens in there, and I've now put a date. I've got these little cards which I made up. They're just laminated sheets of paper, so I know which date they are because I've got more batches now. I used to have a system like this, so they hatched on March 16th, so that makes them about 6 weeks old. I thought they were older, but they're doing really well. And I just noticed there's actually one out on the other side there, and it's got out because there's a little bit of a gap there. So I've got to catch that one and put it back in. Let's see how I can do it. I probably need to turn that electric fence off. I'll turn the electric fence off first. Okay, here we go. Can I catch a chicken while holding a video camera? I got it. All right. So these chickens, most of them are Australorps crossed with Plymouth Rocks. So I had a Plymouth Rock rooster. So some have come out almost like Plymouth Rocks. Don't know what that white one was. So yeah, they're growing out. I've got quite a few roosters, so we'll process those roosters out ourselves. And some of the pullets I might keep for my own flock or sell off. So talking about selling off chickens, I have had some questions lately about how to make money with chickens. So what I'm going to do, starting May 1st, I'm going to do a real life case study and open up my figures and show you how I make money with chickens just on a small area of land. So I've obviously consulted to farms, and we've set up farms that have thousands of laying hens, and that's cool, but more on a homestead situation, how someone could make money on, say, 3 acres, and all the different techniques like hatching your own chickens, growing up chickens, buying in day-old chickens, selling fertile eggs. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cover that, go through all that. Let's come over here. This is E-Coop grower. These hatched on April 20th, and there's 48 of them. And this little one worked out how to fly over, and it needs to fly back in. So they're about 8 days old. So what I'm going to do this morning, I'm actually going to open them up and give them half this whole brooder. So I don't know if I'll be able to catch this little one with one hand. We'll see. I could be here for a long time. Oh, I got it. There we go. He's happy now. He's in with his friends. So I'm about to open that up. Let's just do that right now. So this feed, I'm just going to dump in the top of these feeders. Now they've got the big feeders, so they can just access that there. This water is now redundant, so I'm just going to turn that off, pull this hose. These are the systems we have. Because that's all magnet, I just take that off, so I can get that out of the way. So that's out of the way real quick. I've got this stake that the feeder was on. I can just put that aside. This light, I'm just going to clip up there because I'll still use that a little bit. And then these, let's see how we go here. Okay, so there you have it. So that took me like, what, 3 minutes or something. So the same sheet metal I've used to make a circle just pops in both sides, so they've got a bigger run. And what I'll do on this side, because they can fly over, it should be taller, but that's all right. What I'll do, I'm just going to heap up a pile of sawdust there, so if one does come over this side, they can easily just run along and then they can jump back over. So I'll just spread out the sawdust, just pushing up against here. It'll just create a little bit of stability. I can do that both sides. Just keep that rigid, and they can access the feed. They've got feed in there. And those bullet drinkers, I can just adjust the height of them now. The chickens probably can reach them, but I'll just pull them down just a little bit. And they've got butterfly nuts on both ends, so I can just pull them down and tighten them up. They should already be hooked up. There you go, they got water there. So there we have it. In a couple of minutes I can change them from a circle to they get half the brooder, and now I can just put bags of feed in that big feeder. I don't have to fill up a little one. And those bullet drinkers are fed by these big tanks. I've actually got 4 of them. There's 2 behind me as well, so they've got 80 litres of water, which they're not going to go through that very quick. So now they've got more area. When they're bigger, in a couple of weeks, we're going to move this whole coop forward and they're going to get some beautiful green grass. But for the moment, they can just run around there as they've got a bit more area. And soon we'll give them the whole brooder. But for the moment, I don't want to give them an area too big and finally get stuck in a corner. So they can just they can have that run. So here we are at the layers. The energizer's off. So in here, because they're going to turn this to a vegetable garden, I've started just throwing in, this is just some old soil from some of these gardens. It was really, really dry, but they're starting to scratch through that. And I'm going to let them eat all this grass down. So they're going to bear this ground, but what I'm going to do each day, I'm going to throw this wood chip in. So see already, this is what I love to see. This is, if you're not into gardening, you're like, this is probably very, very boring. But at the moment, we've got wood chip under their perches and you can see the manure on top. I'll just keep adding to that and then I'll have a very rich soil. So we've got about, I think I've got 35 hens and 2 roosters. So they're happy and healthy. They've got plenty of area, plenty of grass to run around in. So you can see, oh, it's a bit hard to see the fence. There's the fence there, so you can sort of see the area they've got. This is just one 50-metre fence, and this is going to be sort of the size of the garden, what you see here. I will sort of square it up a little bit, so I've got a bit of a square garden, but I'm going to let the chooks do the work. And here's, you can see here, here's a pile of soil I put in a few days ago, and they've just leveled it down, and this is just creating a really good base for my garden. So after a few weeks they can just turn this into a beautiful plot. So that's what's happening there. As I said, starting the 1st of May, I'm going to share with you, I'll probably put in a spreadsheet, what I'm doing to make money with chickens right now on a small scale. Like I've had my own farm with thousands of chickens, and that's great. But there's a lot of people go, how do I do, I suppose, the homesteading self-sufficiency? I think that's good, but there's one step further, is to create some excess. So if you need 12 eggs a day, I'd say create 20 eggs a day. So then you've got 8 eggs a day to sell. That can just cover your feed, cover some of your equipment costs. So you don't get to the end of the year and say, yes, we've been self-sufficient, but it's cost us $8,000 a year. I'd rather you get to the end of the year and say, we've been self-sufficient, we've grown our own food, and we've got $8,000 in the bank. So it might not be an income on a small scale where you can walk away from your job. You can certainly lead to that, but if it's enough to get all your eggs and your chickens for free, I'm a massive fan of that. The other thing, which if you want to tune in the month of May, and I might even run it further, for your kids, often people go, how do my kids start a business? How do they make money? When I left school at the age of 15, I had chickens and they were my business. So I'm going to show you different ways that your kids could start their own business with a few chickens. So stay tuned, that'll be coming over the next couple of weeks, and you can see exactly what I'm doing, some real figures of how to make some money with chickens. Have a great day, we'll talk soon.